Well, boys and girls, sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business, but Softwash Science is back. This is Josh Insing with 616clean.com, and this is your episode of Softwash Science. Like I said, we're back, and I figured I would start this video. Weather's been great here in Michigan, and I kind of wanted to start again with another video. I've had a lot of questions and a lot of people reaching out to me. Despite the fact that I've taken a little bit of a hiatus, it's been difficult because people contact me, and it's not people that I've heard from before, and it's also people that I've heard from before, and it's people all over the world, all over the country. They want to know certain things. They have questions. They say, hey, they call me and say, hey, I've been following you online. You're one of those people that I just use your name as a keyword search, and it's good to hear, but I definitely feel like there's this gap. A lot of guys are asking me, one of the most common questions is about the ball valves. The ball valves, the 12-volt pumps, that kind of stuff. What I wanted to do, my first video back, was kind of just explaining why I left. I mean, I had, in this industry, sorry, my phone is dying a little bit. In this industry, what you have is you have great people. It's a great industry. You have great things happen if you're willing to work for it. If you want to work through it and work through the struggles, good things can happen. My business has been on fire lately. I can't tell you, it's been that good. So it's prayers answered. So I'm a religious person, but prayers answered for me, and if you are too, then keep praying and keep your head down, keep working towards your goals. Sometimes you feel like you're kind of at a dead end. Well, you got to work through that. There is an escape route. There is a path for you if you're willing to work for it. You can't be lazy in this industry. It won't come to you. Nothing will come to you. You have to go search for it. And sometimes in life, when you search for something, sometimes you actually get there and you figure out that what you're searching for is not what you needed, what you're looking for. So keep that in mind too. But I've had a lot of questions about, basically, a lot of people want to know about the ball valve setup. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about that, and don't want to make the video too long because we got about 2 hours left here, and then I gotta watch Shark Week. So I don't know if you guys are Shark Week people, but if you are, tune in. Shark Week, baby. So you're not gonna hear from me for probably the next week, because I really enjoy that time of year. So sorry, I'm on the water. We'll move. As far as the ball valve setup goes, a lot of guys ask me, how do you set that up? What do you do? It's all half-inch. I see a lot of people do it certain ways. Some people have done it with a half-inch. They have, done their best to do it with a half-inch, but I always see 3/8, and I see it set up wrong. What you need to do is you need to find a compact ball valve in a half-inch with threaded connections. So you have threaded connections on a compact ball valve that's half-inch, female, threaded on each side with a nice positive turn. Spears makes a valve. Hayward makes a valve. George Fisher made a valve. I can almost guarantee you won't find the George Fisher ones. They're the nicest ones out there, but I gotta be honest with you, if there's any that go for sale, I'm going to buy them. So you probably won't find them. They're almost impossible to find, and when you do, you're not gonna get one because I've probably already bought it. But either way, that's just beside the point. The key is to just find a half-inch George Fisher, a half-inch ball valve with a good seal in it, because you don't want to be replacing all the time. And so what you do is at the end of your unless you're running like a booster pump. If you're running a booster pump and you feel the need to go with a 3/4, you absolutely can. There's 3/4 valves out there, but I'm just going to talk about the 1/2 inch today. So it's threaded. So at the end of your soft wash wand, because it is a low pressure PVC valve with a Viton seal, or some of them will say like FKM or whatever. Banjo actually makes a couple, but not anything I would necessarily recommend for the end of your hose there. So you thread that. The end of your hose will have a barbed connection, or if you're lucky, you might have a crimped on connection, or like with a hose furl, so it's a full flow, and that'll be a 1/2, or whatever your hose is. Maybe your hose is a 5/8 or 1/2 inch, whatever it may be, and then it'll be threaded, a 1/2 inch threaded pipe thread connection, and that will thread into your ball valve. So your ball valve will be threaded right on the end of your hose, and then from there, out of the end of the ball valve is where you put a female, I'll say it again, you put a female 1/2 inch, and I use a Hansen. You can use a Hansen or you can use an MTM, but I would go with the Hansen. So you have a 1/2 inch Hansen female stainless steel quick connect, and then just order some Viton seals for that, so you can go ahead and use the Viton seals. So 1/2 inch, and then at the end of that, what you do, everything that you have from there is going to be a 1/2 inch stainless steel Hansen plug. If you go Hansen, then you get Hansen for the plug, Hansen coupler, Hansen plug. If you do MTM, you go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. If you really want to be a big shark, then you go with a Mossmatic. I don't know if they make a 1/2 inch, but if you can find it, that'd be the 40-foot shark. Mossmatic is that's your top tier. It's probably gonna be super expensive, but if you're like me and you realize how much money you can make with this stuff and you really enjoy it, then it is what it is. And then out of there, you can have your guns. You can have just a straight through PVC wand. It'd basically be a PVC pipe or whatever you want to do, and all you have to do is have your 1/2 inch connection on the end of your male connection. And the reason why I say male connection is because if you start putting 1/2 inch couplers on all of your attachments, well, then you have a moving part. You have all these moving parts, you have more O-rings, you have more weight at the end of your wand, and it's more expense too. So if you want to buy nice expensive things, that's fine. I like nice expensive things that last, but I like to be smart about it, because the last thing you want is a bunch of couplers that you have to lube and grease and take care of, when you can just have one coupler at the end of your soft wash wand at the end of the ball valve. That way you can turn off your pump or your chemical line, and then you can either squeeze your trigger gun, or if it's a straight through wand, like it'd be no different than a lot of people run like a regular ball valve. You can shut that off and change your fittings. You can have whatever fitting you want. The only thing you need to have is a 1/2 inch quick connect, a male quick connect, a 1/2 inch male quick connect, and that goes for some of the. I buy the garden hose, like the cheap garden hose, or MTM makes the nice ones that have a garden hose thread that will thread right into a Gilmore, or you can buy the brass ones too. They'll thread right into a Gilmore. Well, they'll go onto that system, so you can use that. You can use a lot of the guns that you buy, like those ones with the Canadian maple leaf, or the Suttner Viton guns, the poly guns. Those all have a 1/2 inch hole at the end of the gun, so it's super simple. You just buy a 1/2 inch male plug, and it will thread right into the gun. Well, then you can switch your guns, and it's very simple. So I think people overthink it. They try to go with a 3/8 and do this and that. You just need a 1/2 inch. 1/2-inch ball valve threaded on both sides, threads onto your chemical line, and out of that you just have a 1/2-inch female quick connect, quick coupler, and that has male threads on it too, so it threads right into the ball valve. You don't want to overturn it in there. That's the beauty of having the George Fisher valves, is you don't run the risk as much of cracking that. Sorry, it's a little windy, but so anyways, that's kind of the gist of it. Everybody asks, how do you do this, how do you do that? It's all 1/2-inch stuff. You know, I've pretty much laid it out for you. Just get a 1/2-inch female pipe thread on both sides ball valve, and then match up your attachments with it. All your attachments are going to be a 1/2-inch male plug. So it's no harder than that. You guys can kind of decipher from there how you do the rest, but it's pretty simple, and that kind of lays it out for you. And anyways, I'm gonna go in. I'm watching some Shark Week. So this is Josh with 616clean.com. We'll see you guys in the next one.